Hey, Peeps Galucia here, and today I am joined with my longtime friend and new member of Team Galucia, Scalene.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hello, Mr. Scalene. Quick intros for Scalene, if I may. He was the first person to join Team Galucia, and he has some good ideas. He's bringing some good stuff to the table, so we're going to get right to it. So for Scale's first project on Team Galucia, he started doing some research for games that are either still in production, they're available on beta or whatever, games that are out, that have either just come out or have been out for a while, but for whatever reason, they've gone relatively unnoticed and have kind of stayed off of the YouTube radar.
For my first project on Team Galucia, we will be reviewing World of Tanks and how it can be a very fun game, even though it has its downsides.
Yeah, I first heard about this game from my friend Sidestrafe, who covers this game a lot on his channel, but other than Sidestrafe, I don't really know of any other YouTubers that are like heavily covering this game, and I think that it's a game that definitely deserves to be covered and has a lot of good things, but it also has some bad things, but what game doesn't? So, Scale, when you first started playing the game, what were some of the things that kind of stood out to you that made this game a candidate for this new series of ours and made you want to play the game more?
You know, I was really surprised about how amazing the graphics were compared to other free-to-play games.
That's actually a good point, because we actually haven't even really mentioned the fact that the game is free to play yet, and the graphics really they look pretty good compared to most of the free to play games that I've played. And if you didn't know the game was free to play and you were looking at this footage that you're looking at right now, you wouldn't necessarily know that just from looking at it. Some free-to-play games kind of stand out. You're like, this game must be free-to-play or terrible. But, yeah, this game actually holds its own even compared to non-free-to-play games. But definitely worth mentioning the fact that it is free-to-play. But while I'm on the subject of free-to-play, that does bring us to an important point of some of the downsides of any free-to-play game, because there's always like a nasty part of it, so we can get to some of the bad before going. We'll start with some good, get on some bad, and then end with some good. So free-to-play, I have some issues with the free-to-play on this particular game. I think some games handle free-to-play better than others as far as how much service they provide to you for free before you have to actually pay for it. So what about this game to use, Scale, before I get on what bugs me about it? With the free-to-play, do you kind of rubs you the wrong way as far as what you think should be free or what's kind of ridiculous that they're making you pay for?
It's really annoying how you can have a party of 2 and that's it before you have to pay to be able to get 3 people in a group or get into a, I guess, clan is what they call it.
Yeah, it's like their version of like a guild or a clan, and it's like a tank company or whatever. But that's my main thing about it. I'm actually shocked that you can only have parties of 3 even, because even if you are a paying member and you have a premium account, you can still only invite up to 2 additional people into your party without actually having a company, which is a whole nother thing, because then you got to set up like a whole guild for the game so that you have a company, and you still can't enter, and I might be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure you still can't enter random battles with more than 3 players. If you want like a company to go to war, then you have to go to war with another company. So it's only like clan v clan type stuff if you want to do large parties. And I think part of the fun of PC gaming is teaming up with your buddies and destroying a random lobby. Like, that's part of the enjoyment. You know, any of like the first person shooters that we play, you can do that, and for this game you can't. So that was kind of a bummer for me. A lot of it's what you would expect from free to play. You know, there's special tanks you can only get with real money, special ammo, special like items that you can use like during the battle, like on the battlefield. Pretty much like the normal fray of like certain better things that you're going to pay for. So if you're someone that's willing to pay for the game and get the in-game currency, the gold, chances are you're going to be better than the people that aren't paying for it. You also get like way more experience and stuff. There's all kinds of stuff. I might make a whole nother video about the advantages of being premium, but which that kind of stuff you expect. But only being able to party up with one person if you're not paying really does suck, and the fact that it only has 7 tank slots also kind of bugs me. Because in the game you get all these different kinds of tanks, but you can only have up to 7 before you have to pay real life money to buy additional slots, so you can own more tanks than that. And that's kind of annoying, because anytime I play any type of game like this where there's vehicles, I like to collect vehicles in my garage, and I can't do that with this game. But one good thing that stood out to me was the leveling system, and speaking on those different tanks, how many different kinds of tanks. It's not just like a tank as you would expect it, like a normal just tank with a cannon and that's it. Like, there's a variety of types of tanks. There's tons of tanks available. There's a leveling system. There's different items that you can. There's all kinds of stuff. So for you, Mr. Scale, what stands out for you as far as the leveling system and stuff that you particularly like, and what is your favorite type of tank so far, if I may?
The leveling system is really interesting in the way that you get research by playing with that tank, and you can use it to unlock better armor, guns, or engines to move faster. And once you unlock those, you can purchase them to upgrade your tank. And then after enough purchases, you can purchase the next tier tank.
Which I think is interesting, because it's like, if you want a tier 3 artillery style tank, you can't just play in your tier 1 and tier 2 medium style tanks, because that's only going to unlock the next medium to like tier 3 tank. So you have to trudge through it. You have to use that tier 2 artillery tank and work on building up enough experience to unlock the tier 3 artillery tank, and so on and so forth. But I honestly, in answering my own question before I even let you do it, I honestly don't even know what my favorite type of tank is yet. I think they all have like their finer points. I think I probably use the artillery the most, but it's not the most fun one. So if I went for like reliability, it's my artillery tank. If I went for fun, it's the tier 3 light tank, or just light tanks in general, but the tier 3 is the one I've just unlocked. Just because I love being able to go stupid fast and charging in. Is there a style of gameplay that you like in this game that fits with a style of tank, something that stands out for you?
Really all tanks have their advantages and disadvantages. But really I don't prefer any type of tank. They're all extremely fun.
So what about the actual game itself, as far as the controls and how the games actually kind of play out, like how the people play the game, if that makes any sense? You know, like every game if you played multiple first-person shooters, the people that play Call of Duty play the game vastly different than the people that play Battlefield. It's just a different attitude and way of playing it. So anything for you that you like about the controls and how that translate into the game itself, and then the people that play the game?
The controls are interesting in the way that you can zoom in extremely far to snipe a tank from a far range, or zoom out so you can see a large area.
I do like the zooming, but it's painfully realistic, because if you're on the move and then you like zoom in as much as that particular tank will let you, because different tanks and different turrets will have different zoom levels. It's incredibly shaky, and you can't see what the hell is going on, and you're certainly not going to hit anything. And the aiming mechanic with the artillery is particularly interesting, which is another reason why I like it. Because you can aim it like a normal tank if there's a tank right in front of you, but then otherwise you have this like bird's eye view aiming system where you can pretty much see the entire battlefield, but you can only see the enemy tanks if they're being spotted by somebody else. That's what really bugs me about the fact that you can't join with large groups, because it really does require an intense amount of communications. If we joined with like a party of 6, we would only need like 1 artillery. And everybody else could run like light and medium tanks, maybe like a tank killer or something like that. And then the light tank would, focus his experience points on like better radar and stuff like that. So he's like a spotter tank, because he can quickly go in, spot tanks, get out of there before he gets shot, just drive around, zipping all over the place, spotting for artillery. And then you have like your medium tanks, your heavy tanks, so on and so forth. And like, it would be so much better if you can organize with people over TeamSpeak, so on and so forth. But it's just not set up like that, and it just I don't know why, and it just drives me crazy. But I do like I do like the aiming system, and I do like the how it's painfully realistic. It's hard to hit things. The accuracy is not always where you want it to be. If you're on the move, it's almost impossible to hit things. You got to remember, like, these are World War II tanks. This isn't an Abrams that can fire the cannon accurately while driving 30 miles an hour through the desert. This is a World War II tank, and it can't hit crap all while it's moving. So, a lot of strategy. I like the gameplay in the sense that you can't just run out there like an idiot. You can, and that's fun sometimes, but you're going to die. But getting behind the buildings, hiding in bushes, a lot of strategy involved in trying to outwit your opponent to get that shot in. So anything else that stands out to you, Scale?
One really good thing is that you could have a bunch of bad games in a row, but then you could come back and completely destroy the enemy team. And that's what makes the game fun to play and continuously addicting.
It is, because usually when I have a bad game, if I'm playing something competitive, like if I have like 2 or 3 bad games in a row, I'll start raging and be like, this is blah, 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 and then just like stop playing the game. But with this, I always know that I'm going to get redeemed at some point. And like I had 4 games in a row that I lost, died like immediately, was doing terrible. 4 games in a row, and I wanted to stop playing so bad, but I didn't. And I decided to just play with a different tank just for lulz, like one of my lower tier tanks. I ended up getting 5 kills, which, for those of you that haven't played this game, that's an insanely high amount of kills. So, best to this day, the best game that I've had so far. And I wanted to get out, but I stuck it out and had an amazing game, and it made it worth trudging through those terrible games. So I would definitely agree with that. So anyway, in a nutshell, both me and Scale think that this is a great game. A lot of people in our clan have been playing this game, albeit not together, which is still my major complaint about this. But it's totally worth playing, and like I said, both me and Scale are both regularly playing it. So if you want to play it yourself, as I said, it is free to play. There's a link in the description directly below. And that link is a big help for me if you click that, because that's one of my tracked links, and that'll let World of Tanks know that you got there via Galucia. So that would really help me out. So and it's free. So what do you got to lose? So go try the game out. And if I would say, Scale, I don't know, back me up on this. This game's not, even though it looks good, you can water it down a little bit, and people's computers that aren't necessarily gaming rigs, do you think they would be able to handle it?
Yeah, they should be able to handle it pretty well.
I know Antonym has like 0 problems with his frame rate and stuff, and although he has a decent computer, his computer certainly isn't a gaming computer, so I would imagine if he can play it, then just about anybody should be. I would say if you can play Minecraft, you probably can play this as long as you turn the settings down. But so yeah, so it's a great game. And it's not super demanding, and it's free. So, I mean, it's got everything that you would want in a game. So, link up, join. What server are we on? Because there's 3 servers, right? We're on the first one. So, we're on European Campaign 1 or whatever the hell it is. So, join that one. And then look for me, Galucia, or look for Scalene. And we will hopefully be able to have a battle with you. Big thanks to Scale. Appreciate your help. And so for our new series here, this is going to be our free-to-play Fridays. And if you like what you're seeing in front of you, comment below, say that, the game looks great, blah, 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 blah. And for every like that we get on the video and for every positive comment we get, we'll take that into consideration as to whether or not we're going to cover the game any farther. So from this point on, with the free-to-play Friday series, we're going to give you the deets on a game. Then, if everybody seems to like it, we're going to actually do some just straight-up gameplay videos so you get to see more of the game. And if that's something that's going to appeal to you, then we'll keep doing it. If it's something that you're not into or something that you grow tired of after a couple episodes or whatever the case is, then Scale and I will move on to the next game that we've chosen that we think is interesting or stands out or whatever. So, you, the peeps, are in direct control of this show. And that mostly comes from the brainchild of Scale. So it's a good idea for a series. Again, thanks, Scale. And we'll see you next time.
See ya.